One of my favorite things is to show you how to make a pattern from start to finish. And today's pattern is one you won't want to miss, so go ahead and grab a hot cup of tea, grab your hook and some yarn, and let's learn how to make this beautiful pattern together. This week's newest design is called Adorn and it's by Janet Pippin. It is a luxuriously elegant design. I think it will be incredibly magical whether you're strolling through a garden or having a beautiful candlelit dinner under the stars. It features a cool airy stitch pattern, so it just gives you a little bit of warmth on those days where there's just a tiny hint of chill in the air. And I love how the stitch pattern allows it to feel light and airy, whether you're wearing it draped around your shoulders or scrunched up. Adorn also features this beautiful ruffle on each end. To me, it just creates a soft, romantic feel, which I think complements the stitch pattern beautifully. And to add to the sumptuousness, this design is interlaced with beads. I really enjoy how they feel like a million diamonds sparkling on your skin. And they're totally optional, you don't have to put the beads on, but I really think they add that extra special touch. And I feel Adorn is more than just a pattern. It's a symbol of creativity, confidence, and the endless possibilities that lie within a skein of yarn. And if you can believe it, this pattern is just a few simple rows with simple stitches that repeat over and over. So whether you're just getting started on your crochet journey or you've been crocheting for a while, this pattern is for you. Not only because it's a gorgeous pattern to make, but it's also simple enough to teach to a friend. And what's better than crocheting? Sharing our love of crochet with those we care about. And to add to the buttery soft elegance of this design, we chose to use our dreamy hand-dyed alpaca silk lace yarn. It's so supremely soft and it will feel like beautiful ethereal feathers caressing your skin. I think you'll love the drape of this yarn base too. It really just hugs the shoulders, making this shawl effortless to wear. And it has a gorgeous shine from the silk. And I'm going to be giving away a set of the Reticent hues used to make the shawl version. So if you would love to enter, just subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment below letting me know if you have ever worked with lace weight yarn before. And if you would love to download the pattern and get the yarn, you can head to expressionfiberarts.com. And of course, while you're there, be sure to sign up for email updates for weekly free knit and crochet patterns. So I hope you've gathered up your supplies because it is time to learn how to make this amazing pattern. We're going to begin with some foundation single crochets. So go ahead and start with a slip knot, place that onto your hook, and we'll begin with the chain 2. 1, 2. Then into that first chain that you worked, go ahead and insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now we're going to create our first chain with a yarn over, pull through 1, and create our first single crochet with yarn over, pull through 2. Then to continue making more, turn your work to the side and insert your hook under both legs of the most recent chain you just made. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and then create another chain with yarn over, pull through 1, and create another single crochet with yarn over, pull through 2. And we'll continue working that for the number of times the pattern states. Turn to the side, insert your hook under both legs of the most recent chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1 to create a chain, and yarn over, pull through 2 to create a single crochet. So I'm just going to work 8 today for a small version, but you'll want to work the number of foundation single crochets the pattern states. So I've got 6. So you'll just continue on, and I think you'll like this start to your project rather than your traditional chain. It makes a nice stretchy edge. For row 2, we're going to turn, and we're going to start with a beginning triple crochet into this first stitch. To work that, you're going to start with a single crochet into that stitch, and then into the left vertical bar of that stitch, insert your hook and work a single crochet. And we're going to do that again into the left vertical bar of that single crochet, insert your hook and work a single crochet. So this functions as our first triple crochet. Now we're going to work 2 triples into the next stitch, or trebles, whatever you would like to call it. And this is forming a faux V-stitch. this time and throughout the rest of the pattern. So you've got 2 triple crochets into that second stitch. Next, you're going to skip this next stitch and then continue repeating across 2 triple crochets into the next. So 1 and 2, and then skip the next stitch, work 2 triple crochets into the next, 1 and 2, and repeat that all the way down. You'll have a lot more stitches. When you get to the end, you're going to work 1 triple crochet into that final stitch. And it should be looking like this. For row 3, we're going to turn and we're going to start again with our beginning triple crochet. Work a single crochet in the first stitch. Insert your hook into the left vertical bar of that single crochet and work another single crochet. And again, insert your hook into the vertical bar of that single crochet and work another single crochet. So you basically have 3 single crochets stacked on top of each other. Then working across your row, find these little faux V stitches and we're going to work in between them. So we're going to work 2 triple crochets here between those 2 stitches. This sort of opens those up, making them look like a little V. And you're going to continue repeating that all the way down. Find the next little faux V and insert your hook right between those stitches and work 2 triple crochets. And boop, and I've got one more. So 2 triple crochets between the stitches here in our next little faux V. So work those all the way down. And when you get to the last stitch, you're just going to work a triple crochet into that final stitch. And remember to count your stitches as you go along so that your piece is staying a rectangle. For rows 4 through 7, you're just going to repeat row 3. I've worked up to row 7, now we're going to move into row 8. For row 8, we're going to turn and we're going to start with a chain 1. Go ahead and work a half double crochet into that first stitch. And you're just going to work a half double crochet into each stitch across. So this is the row that you will add beads if you would like to, and I really recommend you try it. They're so fun, and we have done multiple videos on how to add those. It is much easier than you think, so you can check those out if you would like to do that. So just 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way down to the end. For row 9, we're going to turn and start with our beginning triple crochet in that first stitch, just like we've been doing. Single crochet, stack another one on top, and stack a third one on top. They're so cute. Then we're going to work 2 triple crochets into the next stitch. Boop, and boop. So there's 2 into that next stitch. Then we're just going to repeat that, skip 1, and then continue working that all the way down, just like we did on row 2. So skip the next stitch, work 2 triple crochets into the next, which are forming your little faux V. Skip the next stitch, 2 triples in the next. 1 and 2. And when you get to the end, you're just going to work a triple crochet into that final edge stitch. For row 10, we're going to go ahead and turn, and we're going to start with our beginning triple crochet into the first stitch. 1, 2, and 3, and you want to make sure to not work those too tightly or it'll be a challenge to work the next ones. Then you're going to work 2 triple crochets in between the stitches of our little faux V stitch. So very similar to row 3. And then you're just going to continue repeating that across. And between these next stitches, work your 2 triple crochets, which kind of opens them up, forming a V. Repeat that all the way down your row. Find your next little faux V and work 2 triple crochets between those stitches. When you do reach the end of your row, go ahead and work a triple crochet into that very final edge stitch. For rows 11 through 14, you're going to repeat row 10. So here I've worked all the way up through row 14. Again, remember to check your stitch count every so often to make sure you have the same number. And then be sure to check the pattern for the number of times that you need to repeat those rows, depending on if you're making the scarf or the shawl. And before we move into the ruffle, let's work a row of single crochets. Now we're gonna work a fun, easy row of single crochets. So we're just gonna start with a chain 1, and you're just gonna work 1 single crochet into each stitch across. And I'm excited to show you how to work the ruffle. If you do want to change colors for your ruffle, you'll do so at the end of this row. That's totally up to you. Just make sure you get that final stitch in there, give your stitches a count, and then we can move on to the ruffle. And now let's finish off our masterpiece with a lovely ruffle. For row 1, we're going to turn and start with our beginning triple crochet into that first stitch. So stack your little single crochets up. I love these so much. They look so neat and tidy. Then we're going to skip the next stitch and we're going to work 2 triple crochets into the next stitch. So we are increasing on this row, which is going to give us that nice, lovely, fluttery ruffle. And we're going to continue repeating down 2 triple crochets into each stitch. So in the next stitch, work 2, 1, and 2. In the next stitch, work 2, 1 and 2, and you will repeat that all the way down until you have 2 stitches remaining. So this is my final one. Then you're going to skip that next stitch and work 1 triple crochet into the final stitch. And we've now increased and we're ready to work row 2 of our ruffle. For row 2, we're going to turn and start with your beginning triple crochet. You're going to get really good at those. You can use these in other patterns too, even if they don't call for them. It just creates a nice clean look to the edge of your project. Then you're going to work 2 triple crochets in between this little faux V, so these 2 triple crochets in that next stitch. Go between those just like you've been doing and work your 2 triple crochets. And you're going to continue repeating that down. Find your next 2 stitches. So here they are, the 2 that are coming out of the same stitch. Work between those and work your 2 triple crochets. So this is basically the same thing you've been doing in the body of your shawl. So here's our next little V, so we'll work in between those, except you just have more stitches, which creates your little ruffle. So continue repeating all the way down, working 2 triple crochets between each little set of triple crochets, and of course when you get to the end, go ahead and work a triple crochet into the final stitch. And then to complete the ruffle, you're going to repeat row 2. I've worked a few more rows of row 2, and you can see it's already starting to flare out for me, and of course with all of your stitches it's going to create just the most gorgeous little ruffle. Once you complete all the rows for your ruffle on this end, you're going to whoosh over to the opposite end, pick up your yarn here, and repeat the ruffle instructions for this side as well. And remember, you have the power within to create something extraordinary, and let your imagination soar as you choose your colors for this pattern. I will see you next week, my amazing friend, with another new pattern. Bye! Mwah. I need a teleprompter on stage.
What teachers?
The dance teachers. I don't know, is your blood sugar dropping too? So it gives you just a little bit of warmth on the days where there's a little prick of... And,
don't say prick.
I was focusing more on personality than words. One or the other, take your pick. What am I trying to say? I'm gonna just say it. Tim is a troll, which to me just... confidence and the endless possibilities that I was like, and did I not put deodorant on? Holy cow. It's a symbol of
Creativity, confidence, and
see, I'm doing 2 things at once.
Yeah,
that's not my strength.
Yeah.
Are you recording? Oh, that's why don't ask me to do taxes in bed. Can't do 2 things at once. Where'd the ruffle go? But I definitely, see, I just get confused. I do some cuts in there. Never underestimate the power of the dog. Bye. Mwah.